When we come along and we're involved in church, we think there's not really that much I've got to offer. There's not really that much that I can do. I'm not really that skilled and talented. I can't play the guitar like William. I can't sing like Jackie. I can't mix video like Alan, whatever it might be. I can't control a camera like Catherine. Good morning, Catherine. How are you? Great to see you. Well, to see your head behind the camera. I can't do this. No, I don't have that much to offer, that much to bring. This verse in Judges chapter 3 is about a guy who maybe felt a little bit like you do. I suppose, well, he's not really that much of a significant character in Scripture. In fact, this verse is the only place that his name is mentioned, and his entire story is summed up in this one verse. Judges chapter 3 and verse 31, it says, "After him was Shamgar, the son of Anath, who killed 600 of the Philistines with an ox goad, and he also saved Israel." Now, I don't know what it was like for Shamgar when he woke up that morning, rolled out of bed, and I don't know, maybe he just stepped on a sharp, pointy stick as he got out of his bed that morning. But nevertheless, as he walked out of his door that day, he was carrying his sharp, pointy stick for poking cows, an ox goad. It's just a fancy name for a sharp, pointy stick. And his job was basically to walk along behind the cows. Not the most pleasant of jobs for those who've spent any time on a dairy. Just walking on behind the cows, avoiding kind of the mess as they followed along behind them, trying to hold his nose with one hand to avoid the smell, and with the other hand, poking cows in the butt. Not the most exciting job. And I wonder if Shamgar, what he was thinking as he walked out of the door of his hut that morning, was this going to be the most significant day of his life? As he held in his hand that one thing that he had, that small pointy stick. I don't know what it is, the one thing that you hold in your hand, the one small thing that you can do that perhaps you think is not important, not useful, not big enough to be of help to God's church. I don't know what it is. Maybe as you woke up this morning, you looked in the fridge and you thought, it's lunch today at church. I haven't cooked anything, there's nothing that I can bring. But maybe there was just that frozen garlic bread in the freezer left over from a couple of weeks ago. Or maybe there was that jar of olives sitting in the pantry. It's been there since last Christmas. No one likes olives, but so it's just sat there. It's still good, it's still in code. Maybe it was that one small talent that you have, that, what's the word? Contagious smile. That contagious smile. You think, I don't really have anything else that I can do, so I'm just going to sort of sit back here and just smile away to myself. Maybe it's that $5 that you found tucked down in the back cushion of the sofa, and you just kind of chucked it in the ashtray at home, and you're like, yeah, I don't know what I'm going to use that for, but you never know. That one small thing that you hold in your hand, you think perhaps like Shamgar, it's not all that important, not all that useful. But the story of Shamgar reminds us this morning that every talent, every ability, every small thing that we are able to give and to bring can be powerful in God's hands and in our hand when we commit it to the Lord. And I want to go one step further and suggest this morning that when each of us brings those small things, those small talents, that ability, Jackie, to just so effortlessly update our church bulletin for us. Check it out later. Or Rochelle so carefully to craft today's worship service, or just the simple thing of creating the roster. That small thing. That when we bring all of those small things together, that God is able to do something big with our collective contributions. On that day, Shamgar the cowpoke, with his sharp pointy stick, slew 600 Philistines, overcoming the enemies of God. And the story tells us, it finishes, this is the happy ending at the end of the verse, and he also saved Israel. What can you do? How can you get involved? What can you bring? It's not much, but it's all I have, you might say. Why don't you bring it? And together, let's see what God can do. That's heart to heart.
Amen.